Friday night. Friday night, Kid Bash. Friday night, Kid Bash. Friday night, Kid Bash. Yo, it's Friday night. UFC. Friday night, Kid Bash. UFC and the Wicked Wookie. Friday night, Kid Bash. Nice. Hey everybody, Web C here. Friday night, and it's Friday Night Kid Bash. Sounds so cheesy. Alright, and tonight on Friday Night Kid Bash, we're going to sand some plastic. I know it sounds so exciting, but we'll have some people coming in and out, talking to us and stuff, and I am not on my PC tonight, so we're going to throw up the chat overlay just to remind me if somebody's talking. And we might have some company coming in to talk with us as well. So they're on their way to HQ. So we will see them soon. So what do we have here, Web C? What are we looking at? What is getting sanded? This is a Gundam that I kit bashed. Isn't that awesome? So this is Shining Death is what the name is that I'm using right now, but it's a really cool kit bash. Not everything comes apart on this, so we can't take everything apart. Lots of pieces got glued together in the construction of the kit bash, and so we'll just have to do a lot of taping off and stuff when we do the build. So it's going to be fun. The first thing we got to do is get to sanding. We're going to start off between 600s and 400 grit papers. And we don't make a lot of passes when we do this, so we'll be pretty good with that. So, and all we're doing is we're making sure we're getting raised sections, slopes, dents, unwanted unevennesses out of the plastics that we're painting. We're also, it's to scuff it to get it to where we can get the paint to adhere. Those are reasons why you sand before you paint. Well, I sand before I paint. So over here, reason why we're going down to 600s and 400s in grit paper, not staying up near the 800s, 1000s, is because I got glue everywhere on this build, and I want to get that stuff off. And I don't want to gum up my high grit papers. I'd rather gum up 600 grit and then come back. Oh, we got some company. Hello, tell us your name and where you're from and what you're guilty of.
My name's Kerry Michael, and I'm a gunpla addict.
Oh boy.
Michael, how are you?
Oh, it's so good to see you, brother. I'm doing good. I'm over here. We're just talking about sanding kit bashes and why you would go down to a more coarse grit. And this is the reason why, is because I've got glue all over this thing. You can see right there. See all that glue? I gotta cut all that off with some sandpaper and make it pretty.
Yep. You just gotta be careful, right, not to go too far past the glue into the plastic too far, and you can work your way and start polishing it back to a good finish.
Exactly. So I'm just getting it roughed right now, making sure I get a lot of that gummy glue off of there, and then once I get that off, we can move on to the next grit of paper. And so what's new with you, sir? How are you? How are you feeling? Are you feeling okay? Is your body gonna make it?
It is. I kind of put myself through the ringer one day, and it just got really hot, and I wasn't eating enough and not drinking enough water, and I paid the price for that. So yeah, but it was one of those situations where it made me really sick, and I had a terrible headache.
Okay, I understand. That sun ain't no joke. It'll cook you good.
Dude, yeah, I thought it was pretty tough, but I mean, there's only certain things you can do. You have to, try to protect yourself, but just being in the heat and in the direct sunlight, and then like strenuous activity.
Oh yeah. I used to when I worked in the summer times as a carpenter floor refinisher, I used to like bring like a frozen jug of water, like a 1 gallon jug of water with me everywhere I went. It is just had to have it. Had to have all that water with you because like when I was sanding floors, those machines, all that friction from sanding the floors and stuff create heat. Not
It's
only that, but I'm also dealing with 100-degree weather. Plus, I'm dealing with those big heavy machines and stuff. It was yeah, had to always hydrate. That was something. My boss was always, you better drink some water. He
Yep.
sounded just like that too. You better drink some water. The old man from Beavis and Butthead. They were whacking off in my camper.
Whacking in my camper, whacking in my tool shed.
Yeah, my tool shed. Yep. All right. So
Man, I'm trying to get my computer up so I can see that and use this to communicate. But
yeah, no,
we've got
totally.
a heavy workload on the Wi-Fi here, I think.
Well, it definitely sounds like you're getting some good reception.
Yeah, you're clear. Everything looks good. The video is beautiful. Yeah, so I was able to bring just a small handful of kits with me, and when I get, like I said, when I get more space, I'll be able to put in a little time. But I think I'm gonna be able to at least knock out a snap build. I think I need a snap build something.
Heck
Feeling
yeah,
it.
that's awesome. Yeah.
But I've been eyeballing something that I've seen at the local hobby shop, and I need it for the big diorama. But it's like, man, that thing's getting pushed back so far at the moment. It's like I don't need to add more, but it goes in the backlog. It's a master
Yep.
grade buster. I need another master grade buster, and I got my eyes on one locally.
Okay. That's cool. I Speaking of master grades, I was going to talk a little bit about that tonight too. I've got this master grade to talk about. We are doing work on that. So some of the things that I do and don't like about the kit so far. Uh, I've snapped everything out. Everything's like on. Everything's been cut, nipped, sanded, polished. It's all ready to be assembled. Except there's some things that I don't like about the kit, so I got to address those things first. First thing
Okay.
being um, the missile pods. So we can look here at this special page. So the missile pods, they only make them slightly a different gray from the other gray, and it's not really a very good slight variation either. Like you can tell right there, that's not a very good. So what I wanted to do is I'm going to paint all the missile pods for the entire kit red to match the red on the Gunpla. But here's the thing. I don't have a red that really matches very well, but I do have a really nice red. So here's the red. So now I'm going to take this whole bin of parts, reds and missile pods, and I'm going to turn them all the same color.
Right on.
So I wasn't originally planning on doing any painting for this kit, but those missile pods are really, they're an eyesore. If
Right
you
on.
leave them the way
How
they
far
are, I
off
feel
is
like
the
they're an
red
eyesore.
color from the original plastic color?
Um, hmm. It's significant enough to where I want to do both. So here's the original, and here's the. So you see, it's so close, but yet there is a shade difference.
Oh yeah, I see.
So it's
I
not
like
on
the paint
camera. You
color
can't
better.
see it as much. They look almost the same color on camera, but
Kinda, but I think I'm feeling your paint color better than the plastic color if I'm seeing it correctly because I do see the difference in
yeah,
the shade. I like it better. It's deeper.
Yeah, I like exactly. I like this paint better. So, I'm not going to be too upset about having to paint it. But originally, that wasn't on my, plan of action, my list of things to do. So that's slowing me down. So now I got to wash those that bin of parts. I got to wash them tonight. Waiting on the kids to do, their thing, and then we're gonna go over there with the. I got, I got my handy dandy neck mount. So this thing, we're going to be pulling this bad boy back out, and this holds you guys so you can have me in like a personal point of view mode, and then I'm gonna wash some parts and stuff while we're over
Oh,
there, and you guys can kind of see my part washing process tonight.
so see, we got another viewer out there other than me. I wonder who that is. I can't tell.
Hey,
I'm
hey, hey! We
trying to
got
see
people
from.
out today. I'll tell you who we were getting views from tonight. We're getting views from our Twitch page, and we're getting views from Facebook. So that's who
Okay.
we have. So Facebook viewer, hi Facebook viewers, how's it going? We do have the chat thing up. I don't know how well it's going to interact with Facebook tonight.
Okay.
Last few months, it hasn't been interacting or interfacing with Facebook at all. Like so, to interact with the show tonight, head on over to YouTube, search Websy Official, and if you head over there, you can directly interface with us on the chat box on our screen, and that's how you'll be able to see us. We are
Dang.
multi-streaming from multiple platforms, so all at the same time.
I had so many lights going on in here. I had crazy stuff.
Oh no.
That's all right. Because yeah, I use my wife's plants here. I scooted it up. So I stole it to scoot it up and have my phone propped up against it. I don't really have it set up, so I'm just at the kitchen table.
So there we go. 600 grit. Got most of it all taken care of.
600, you say? That's pretty good. I like a 600. I keep that. I think the lowest I go is a 320, and that's damaging, like badly damaging. It'll leave nasty scars in your plastic, and then it takes a little while to get that out. And then if you don't, then it makes it thin, and you know how that goes. So
I go
yeah, six.
down to 320 on large pieces. So on like large parts, I'll do that because it's got a lot of surface area and you want to make sure everything becomes one instead of, ripples or bumps in your surface area. So I see for 320, that's a good thing to bump to, just get that done and really rock into that if it's big surfaces. But smaller surfaces like this, where it's got just so many different faceting surfaces, uh, I don't want to go through that many grits. So I try to just see what's the most coarse grit I can go down to without really going down in grits. So I found 600s is like the good numbers. So 600, 800, 1000 is really where I put my sanding at. And I'm happy with 1000. When I painteth over 1000 grit, it
Uh,
gets good adherence and good quality. So I like it. If I want it to be really smooth, or if I'm going for like a high gloss finish, I got these buffer pads I use.
ooh yeah.
Pull out these buffer pads, and this is like a 2500 grit or whatever. But right after 1000, this this gets it looking really nice right after 1000 grit.
Absolutely. Hell yeah.
Uh, uh, yeah. So what's this? Uh, I'm just chugging along here on my fall list of projects and stuff. I'm pretty happy so far. Uh, going hitting them one at a time, and Like this is one of them. Last week we talked about this kit last week on the show as I disassembled it from down to basically the parts that I'm gonna have to paint and all that because I explained last time that like sometimes when you're building a kit you don't want to fully disassemble. You only want to disassemble down to a basic part. Like sometimes, like what I was saying is like, so like here, if you disassemble down to this part right here, and this is all you have for your part, it's got seam lines and stuff that you can see if I open them up just a little bit. See those seam lines? So for this part, we're
Alex
gonna,
there with a little comment.
yeah, we're gonna get rid of it.
As I say, Johnny Five would probably have to disagree with you on that, Mike. No disassemble.
No disassemble.
CJ's at a party. He says, "All right, CJ, have fun, man. Be safe."
Yeah, happy Friday, everyone. How else were you working on? Awesome, awesome, awesome. Love the comments. Love it. At a party right now, huh?
He's a really good cook. I guess he's into that, so I bet he's cooking. CJ, what are you cooking? What is it that you've got your sanding material mounted to? Is that a popsicle stick?
No, it's plot plate.
Okay. I
I
use
just
popsicle stick. I was curious, but I like that. Now you said that because I could probably get a little better flex out of it versus a hard popsicle stick when I need it. Yeah, man. Heck yeah. I got the perfect plot plate for that.
yeah, this is the thickest plot plate I have on hand right now. It's pretty thick. And it works really good. It works wonders. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it. I like it a lot.
But yeah, I would take and put mine on double-sided like foam tape on popsicle sticks just to get a little bit of flex. But
Yeah,
it's not like a curvature. You can't really get real good curvatures. Just little details.
this is what I'm using. I'm not paid to use it, but this is what I bought. I have the whole set. And
Beautiful.
so yeah, you just peel the back off of it, and it's like this little like peel paper, and you peel the back off of it, and you can stick it. You don't have to do anything; it just sticks itself, self
Nice.
adhesive.
Oh, you can
So
pick that up at our sponsor, Clarksville Hobby Depot, right?
I want to say there is a product like this at our sponsors. So
I
if you
know
head on over there,
for a while.
yeah, check that out. And also, yeah, we're at that moment. Let's talk about that. Just to throw everybody off there. Here at the bottom of the screen, you can see our advertising banner for ClarksvilleHobbyDepot.com. Head on over there. Use the discount code G_Syndicate10 to get 10% off for $25 or more. And that means, man, you go over there, buy one RC car, and you can save 10% on one RC car. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a big break, man. Go over there, do that right now, especially in this economy, saving some money on some RC car parts, even if you're looking for dioramas or to fill up your Gunpla needs or any other plastic model needs. Head on over to Clarksville Hobby Depot, and they will help you out. Don't forget, use that discount code G_Syndicate10. Thank you. All right. Shout out to those guys. Those guys are awesome over there. I love our sponsors. So, and I'm trying to get better at that pitch too, Want everybody to know I'm enthusiastic about having that and stuff. And
Man, great people, great products, and they're growing.
Oh,
It went
definitely.
from being worked out of a house to a storage unit, as it grows, and now it is a brick and mortar. You can come go see them in Clarksville, Tennessee.
Yeah, that's super awesome. I'm super happy about that too. That's super cool and super awesome. And wow.
When I moved, I kind of was on the eastern side of my travel, where instead of shooting over into Tennessee, I went straight down through Virginia into North and South Carolina and missed Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
Because I kind of think he's on on one of the main interstates that goes through that area. Because I've traveled up and down through there. Like I've been towards Bristol a few times. So I think he's just not further outside of there somewhere.
Okay, my recollection where Clarksville was Clarksville is east of Chattanooga,
Oh, okay.
I believe. It's I might be wrong. Somebody out there can help us, correct us, but I believe Clarksville is just a little east of Chattanooga because I lived in Jackson, and Jackson was north of Chattanooga. So they said I can't build anything at the moment.
I'm going to just.
I'm in Jackson.
All right, here we go. Let's see.
Wow, we got a lot of talking tonight. Playing some Gundam Breaker Mobile. All right, Gundam Breaker Mobile's cool. Tonight's topic is Anunnaki with the host crew. Oh, what? Oh, that's not you guys. That's me doing other things.
Oh, so that's a late night load right there.
Oh, I got somebody's watching us from Jackson, Tennessee. I can't build anything at the moment. I have a macular tear behind my left eye.
Ooh.
I'm so sorry you got. Ouch! That sounds painful.
Yeah,
Down
if
in
anything,
Tennessee.
take the time it's going to require to nurse that back to health, man. That is so important. To the hobby, to the enjoyment of your hobby, everything. So,
yeah, thanks for
healing to you, man, for real. Stay strong, but take your time and heal right.
Thanks for tuning in. Did you go to West Middle or did you go to Jackson Central Mary?
Okay, hold on.
I can't remember. It doesn't tell me who we're talking to right at the moment.
I know he's just Facebook user, so we love you, Facebook user.
Yeah. So
that's funny. But mine did too when I made a comment because I made a post and I tagged everyone. So you can be mad at me. That was me that tagged everyone in the Kit Bash Gundam group. Yeah. Happy Friday.
Okay, JCM03, cool. I was supposed to graduate 06 from South. But I lived in Parkview. When I lived in Jackson, I lived in Parkview Courts off of East Chester. So you might know me.
All right, it's in North Tennessee.
Yep.
Yep, just south of the Kentucky line.
Oh, Clarksville?
Yeah, above Greenwood.
Greenwood, okay.
And just below Interstate 79. But yeah, Northern Tennessee. Check it out, Clarksville Hobby Depot.
Awesome. Oh yeah.
I'm all like Googling. I'm going down the rabbit hole now.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I was trying to think. There was some. I know this isn't the place in late night no load, man. But the next late night load, I'm sure is going to be full of all kinds of stuff.
Well, we had a good late night load last night. New things for the late night load. The Thursday night live show that we don't do on Kit Bash Gundam, but that we do on all the other media platforms. We are now doing PlayStation 4 games. So we do that, and we also have Nintendo Switch games we can do for the late night load now. So we'll be alternating between those different games, and my wife, she'll be playing the game most of the time while I'm talking, and then I'll also be sharing my mobile screen and playing mobile games from my mobile screen. So we'll be playing simultaneously 2 games on the same screen, usually at one time.
I haven't picked up a PlayStation controller in a minute.
Oh, I did the other day. It was weird. I played I'm playing this like Dragon Quest Minecraft game called Dragon Quest Builder 2.
Oh, right on. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, definitely when I get done with the show, I'll definitely subscribe back, you guys. Anybody who subscribes to the show, follows or likes us, I'll go check out your content too and subscribe to you back and stuff. So have no fear.
We're working together. You guys come here to check us out. We want to see what you got going on. Absolutely, follow for follow at least. That's only fair.
right?
Sub for sub. I mean, dude, it's a community. It's a strong community. This is what we do. So yeah, we'll be looking for you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Thomas says your voice sounds familiar. I wonder who he's talking to.
Who says that?
Thomas Staten. Shout out, Thomas Staten.
Okay.
Says your voice sounds familiar. I'm like, well, who? Which one of us? And who is the familiar?
It would be me. I think it would be me.
But yeah, that was Vaughn Fajardo. If I got that, if I butchered that, I'm sorry, man. I love you. I don't mean it. I was trying.
Oh yeah, PVC Parkview Chords. Whoop whoop.
Mm.
Yeah, I was pretty well known down there. What's up? What's up? Just working on some model building, doing some sanding, getting this done. See, I got 1,000 grit that I gotta pull out of here.
Tell us, Jonathan, what's up? What are you doing?
There we go. So just taking different sandpapers and sanding this.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I got a question. When you're sanding, do you have a specific orientation do you like to use? For instance, I will crosshatch. I go one direction. Sometimes I only go in one direction, and then I'll go in a perpendicular direction, and I only go in one direction. You know what I mean?
My main thing, I get what you're saying, because like you can see me right here. I'm just going kind of like everywhere. I'm just trying to scuff it just to get that grit, just to get that grit scratch through. From 1,000 or whatever.
Right on.
What? Oh, that was me. Do you want to see the rebake? I'll pull the rebake out. Hold on.
The rebake?
Yeah.
Moonlight Judge. Oh, I saw little bits of that kit somewhere, some photos. Sweet.
Yeah, all right, here you go. I'll push this aside a little bit.
Gilroy says he's new to the group, man. Hey, welcome to the group. The Kit Bash Gundam group. And tuning into Kit Bash Friday.
There you guys go. That is where the rebake is at. Next week, during the week, I'll be taking it apart, semi-apart, and top coating it, and then I'll be putting water slides on the kit. So, Moonlight Judge. Oh, I heard about that Moonlight Judge. I heard that was a really great build. I'm kind of jealous that you got to build that. Yeah. So, and yeah, this is a core Gundam rebake. So just so you know, so to give you some of the stuff that I do. You got 4 arms. The backpack adds 2 arms. But yeah, it's pretty nice. He's got all sorts of details and stuff, and he'll have more soon because I'll be putting on all the other things that make him look like he's a robot instead of just a cartoon-looking thing. So,
awesome color scheme, though. Looks amazing.
And yeah, like I said, so when I'm standing, I'm just taking the part and I'm just scuffing it the best I can with what it lets me use. And then by the time I'm done, like this, it not only gets sanded and scuffed, but it also gets buffed twice, basically, because I use a toothbrush and really make sure, like I really get in there with the toothbrush to make sure it agitates anything and get that one last little bit. So I do that with the toothbrush, and that really helps out too.
Joshua, thanks for tuning in, man. He says, how does one know what kit is bashable and what aren't? Well,
all right.
The way I look at anything and everything is bashable.
Exactly. So if you're probably wondering more so what
Compatibility.
kits are compatible with each other. And so I'm gonna be real honest. This kit bash right here that we're looking at that I have out, it does not. This is not a compatible kit bash at all. This kit bash, it took me a lot of modifications and a lot of work to get it to work. So we'll just go with the leg right there. So
Yeah.
that in there, that is a full modification you have to do. There's no getting around this modification right here. I had to fully modify this piece in here to get it to stick into the Core Gundam's foot, or else it just doesn't work. But once you get the modifications done, it goes together and it looks really nice and it's a solid build. Like here, I'm shaking it, nothing's falling off, you know. So it's a really good Gundam. I like using IBO frames and Core Gundams because I just feel like the IBO frames have a lot to offer for enhancing the Core Gundam. So this is my second one doing this with an IBO frame. So I already had some practice with my first one. And this one, and I appreciate all the compliments. Thank you so much. Awesome for the compliment. I thank you. And then along with that, just patience. Just be patient. Go through each part. Do what you can, and you'll eventually find your pace. Some of this is also hand painted, like these parts right here. I hand painted that white area right there on. You know that
Yep.
part right there. That's hand painted. So
Just
you'll
turn your
also
heads
get
up,
like the hand painting too.
break out that brush, get those little details in there. I was like,
Oh yeah,
it pays off. Thomas
definitely.
Statton says, yeah, Dremel tool and polystyrene are your friends, or will be your
Here
friends.
is here's a size comparison, so you can see how much bigger my custom is compared to a regular Core Gundam with an armor. So this Core Gundam is, I believe, it's the Neptune or something like that, or the Pluto.
Okay, Joshua's got some good stuff going. He says, does one focus more on the cosmetic aspect of the build other than the mobility or gimmick? That again, in my opinion, that's what you're. It's going to be a choice. Do you want to
Yeah,
take away a gimmick so that you can have more mobility, or whatever the case is?
yep.
It's really about what
That's a
you
really
want.
good.
Good
No,
question, though. I mean,
that's a really good question. I have a slight answer to that. So I kind of build both ways. Depending on what my build strategy is, what I want to focus on for the build, will definitely change what my gimmick is, and I'll show you what I mean. So I have another Gundam that I built where I focused on customizing and specializing the weapon. So this weapon is can be held by a 144 scale Gundam, and this thing is just extra. It's all sorts of insane. Parts move everywhere. All sorts of stuff can happen with this, right? So and I detailed it. It comes apart. The idea is that it comes apart, and this piece flies around and can shoot and stuff like a bit funnel or a Dragoon funnel. And then these funnels down here also come off the gun. These two funnels, they come off as well. So I did all that, and that was the center focus. But the paint job on the gun fully matches with the paint job on the Gunpla. So that's what the focus was for me, was to create a super custom gun that looked super awesome. And then I made sure it matched the Gunpla I was building. So that's kind of what I would, try and go for. Once again, thank you for the compliment. That was an amazing. I think I try to work really hard for my Gunpla builds. So
absolutely.
And patience and time. Like this one that I'm sanding tonight, this kit I've been working on for over 7 months. I've had it, just slowly I'll make changes. Slowly I'll make different, put different parts out and stuff. And so, yeah, I've been working on this one for over 7 months. This one right here, I've been working on since January. So it'll be, that much time that I put into that one. Really, once you get to painting, the painting is the fastest and funnest part of the whole thing. So get in there, do that. So we're just, like I said, we're just hitting this real quick. I'm at 1,000 grit already, so we're just gonna keep hitting this. This is the first piece, and yeah, it takes a while. Like I've been sanding this one part the whole show so far. So don't don't get discouraged, guys. Like sanding one piece, sometimes you want to make sure that piece looks nice when you're done. So get in there, get those parts sanded. This part is going to be very involved with taping because I'm going to want like these two vents. I'm going to want them to be silver, and then I'm going to have to tape those off after they're silver. And then the yellow part, I'm going to want a different color than this piece, but I'm going to want this piece to be matching with this red part here so that they all come together. And then this is going to be gold. This all on the inside of this because it still has it'll still get the whole transformation gimmick that it has. So I got this part right here that's just go on. There we go. So you'll still see the gold and everything through there, and I got this part that's how do I layer for a heat effect? So I have the paints on hand. I haven't really done a whole lot of work on that yet for heat effect. But what I use is you just take I use a lacquer base system usually. I'm using lacquers, but whatever it is you're using, you put down aluminum first or your metal, your shiny metal color first, and then you're going to use candy clears. And I recommend using you're going to want 4 colors for your candy clears. You're going to want a blue, a yellow, a orange, and a red. And then you can blend those to make different layers and colors and stuff like that. And you play around with that, and you'll figure out what you like.
That's what. Quick question: is there a color? Is there an orientation or the layers of the colors? Is there other than the base?
Okay, so I would do yellow first, then red, and then I would do blue, and then I would do so yeah, I would go in that order. Yellow, orange, red, blue. So you go from light to dark. Always light for dark. Lightest color first because then you don't have, because the next time you put a darker color over it, you can't undo that as easily. You know what I mean? So, and then the lighter color, if you're using clears like candies, the lighter colors won't go over a darker color very well. So that's why you would do the light to dark. That's what I would do.
Got a great paint question. With the amount of putties and materials to use as a base frame, is there any paints that don't work well with other materials?
Yes.
Lacquer paints will eat polystyrene.
Yeah. So some of your paints will eat your plastics, and some of your paints will become what's known as a hot reaction. So when doing lacquers and enamels, you can put an enamel over a lacquer, but you cannot put a lacquer over an enamel. Okay. So what I mean by that is the All-Clad system is a real good example of it because it's a lacquer and an enamel team system. So you put your lacquers down first, and then you can put your lacquers on top or your enamels on top of your lacquers. So when you get your candy coats through All-Clad, they're all enamels. So it's like your last coat. You know what I mean? It's kind of what the candy coats are. They're just going to be your last coat, as to where like the other coats that you get from All-Clad, they're going to be all lacquers. So your primer's a lacquer, your base coat's a lacquer, which is usually either black or gray or white with that company. And then after that, you'll get your metallic, whatever your metallic is that you're going to put down. That's also going to be a lacquer. So it's either aluminum, silver, or chrome. And then your candies are all enamels. It says right on the bottle, enamel paint. And they're clears. And that's how I know you can put enamel over lacquer. because that system. Yes. but you cannot, do not put a lacquer over an enamel. It'll turn your I have an example somewhere.
And
I don't
also,
know.
just
It's
because
not out, but I
the
have an
system allows
example.
it, don't take it for granted that you can do with any and create your own paint system. I mean, it's a science.
Yeah, and then water-based paints are pretty much they'll go over like I use a water-based top coat, gloss coats, my gloss coat for my airbrush. It's all water-based. I don't use any lacquer or anything like that. I just use just straight water-based top coat. It's easier to work with. If you make a mistake, it's friendlier. Um,
Mm.
you can wipe away your mistakes with that more, or is what I'm saying. Uh, just take a Q-tip with some alcohol on it and just rub, and you can wipe away that top coat eventually,
Yeah.
which is nice. So, if you get pooling or puddling or if it just doesn't look right in a certain spot, you can always fix it. It's really easy that way. Oops. One of your streams is having connection issue. It'll be all right. It says we're having some connectivity issues. No problem. No worries.
I got a
Alright.
gamer in the house too that's burning up the Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay. It happens.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so now we're gonna hit it with the buff. This is like super fast. The buffer, surprisingly, this buffer is super aggressive. I'll show you what I mean. All right, the fastest thing ever. All right, and there we go. This part is ready to be washed and painted.
Yeah, to answer Yoshua's question, yeah, definitely. If you're scribing, something sharp is going to get your best effect. Is it the only way? No. But for accuracy, you're gonna get a better, straighter line. It's gonna be more even. It's gonna cut better. Everything with something sharp, but does not have to be.
So Queen Hobby makes a chisel, and then I have a generic chisel, and then I have a Display push brush, and this thing. This is the master tool. This is like top tier tool, and then the the Queen Hobby is the mid grade or the middle ground, and then this generic thing is like $12, and it's the piece of junk.
Amazon, I got one.
Yep,
Hey,
yep.
it works great.
It does work, and it's not bad. I want to be clear about that. It does work, and it's not bad. But
Right.
once you get one of these,
Yep.
this thing looks like a piece of junk in your hands. You're just like, night and day difference.
Right.
But on the draw side, this one is super sharp, and you can make mistakes a lot with this one. So if
Right.
you're not practiced at all with scribing, I suggest going for like this medium grade, this Queen's Hobby. Get this medium grade one. It's got a nice feel. It's super light. It's easy to change. It's got a set screw to change your bits. It comes with 7 bits, different sizes from 0.01 all the way, or 0.01 millimeter all the way up to 1 millimeter. So that's quite a few different bits they give you for this one. For the Display brand, you have to buy each one of your bits separately. But for these two cheaper ones, they give you a pack of bits for each one. So there's your ups and downs, your pros and cons right there. The cheaper ones, you will find yourself sanding away some of the rougher edges they create more. So that's kind of what that feels like.
Jonathan wants to know: have you used Display's paint markers?
No, I have not. Not out of not liking it or anything. It's just I have not. I don't really use paint markers, like, so that's not a. I haven't tried them yet. So if I get my hands on some, I might try them and use them for a project. But
Right
like
on.
I've tried other paint marker brands and stuff. Where is it?
Thomas
Somewhere
wants to know: is that a gun primer buffer?
where this
Yeah, your buffer is a gun primer.
no, it's blinking nails. You can buy these 12 of them for like $10 on Amazon. And they come packaged pretty nicely when they're brand new. They come in like a plastic wrap. This is what it looks like brand new. And they come pretty nice. One side's a buffer, one side's a scratcher. So when I'll give you an example. You can scratch it like that a couple times. It creates a dull finish.
Mm.
And then if you go back and hit it with the buffer side,
Because I have
creates
a gun primer balancer.
creates a shiny finish. Yeah, a balancer. This is basically the same thing as a balancer.
Right. Yeah, you got like a small abrasive, like a fine abrasive side, and then the foam side for shine. And then it comes with the cloth, so you can get the matte finish back if you'd like, which is
And
really
then
cool.
I also have this brand of them too. These Maritons. These ones are you can break them apart into small cubes, and then this is it. And the same thing. This whole white thing is a buffer, and then this is just the coarse grit. So that's like 20. That's like 2,500 coarse grit, and then that's a buffer. So it's the same thing. You could sand with one side and then buff it smooth. If you don't plan on painting, that's what these are for. These are just a super blessing if you're not really planning on painting. And if you have like, if your nippers is really good, like a God Hand nippers or a Display 3.0 or the Madworks 3.0, though any of those really nice nippers, if you have one of those, these are your tool of choice. After you use your nipper, you would use this tool. And then I do have glass files as well.
Yep, I would say cause everything I have is gun primer, a glass file, stuff like that. And I use Godham nippers, or my favorite are I use Tamiya brand long jaw pointed nippers.
Yeah. So yeah, I do have yeah. So here's the glass file, one of the ones that I use. It is semi-transparent, this one. And the other one I use is fully transparent. It's this one is a little bit thinner than the Razor glass file. It still has the same cutting pattern as the Razor though. This specific one.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one still has the same cutting. Like somebody was talking about how these more generic ones don't have the same cutting apparatus, but the ones that I bought have those really tiny circles, just like the Razor.
Okay, and some, just for some that don't know, there are tempered glass files for plastic, and there are tempered glass files for nails, like fingernails. There is a difference. If you buy the ones for fingernails, they're going to get clogged quickly with plastic. They get hot, they get warm, right? They get warm, and those tiny shavings melt. It plugs up your thing. So these are specially made for plastic, and they're easy to clean out. I use a toothbrush to clean mine out when I need to sometimes, but
that's what I use to clean mine out. I've had this one for over 2 years. So same thing,
But that's remember, for people, take a look, make sure you're getting at least the right kind of glass file, because then you're going to get upset and be like, it doesn't work right. It's because it's not the right kind. It doesn't have the right abrasive teeth.
Yeah. So see, there's what he's talking about. That stuff right there. This file, it rubs off nicely,
Yeah.
So if I just tap it on my pants a little bit, there you go. It's clean again. So a crystal glass file and a siren, those are pretty cool. I've seen those crystals. I'm interested in trying one of those.
Me too.
Then I haven't tried the siren. The siren is very much so like the Razor, though. I've seen a preview of it, and that's what the preview basically they were saying on the previews. It's pretty much the same. So I was like, okay, we'll give that a try.
Gilroy said something about BMC. Enlighten me. BMC is who?
I do skiving, really prefer Disc Bay, Madworks, and BMC. Oh, okay, so BMC is just one of those other big companies that does products, tools for modelcraft hobbies.
Okay, gotcha. It wasn't familiar at first. I didn't know.
Okay, yeah. And I prefer the Disc Bay over the cheaper ones for sure. But I like I said, the some of the issues with the more expensive one is that it's less forgiving when you make mistakes because of how good of a tool it is. Your mistakes are going to be just as obvious. So show more patience when you have the sharper tool. that's a good one for me to do for me to mention. I guess.
So you had an accident with one of your sharp push broaches.
Yeah, I actually dropped the Disc Bay push broach and it pierced into me. And
just dropped it.
Yeah, just dropped it. It was exactly. I just dropped it, and it so it tried to kill me, unalive me, I should say. and I survived, thankfully. So, here we go. I'll show you guys again what I'm getting rid of off of this part before I paint it. Is right there in the glare. You can see that glue all that glue resin that seeped out when I was working. It's really bad on that side. So we're just trying to get rid of that on here. And then, what are you doing?
I am trying to stand up with my charger plugged in.
Oh, okay.
It's a potted plant.
Yeah, so that glue, that's what I'm getting rid of. So I'm going 600, 800, 1000 grit, and then a quick buff. So that's the course of action. And really, the 600 gets it really good. So I don't have to spend a lot of time with the 800. And then the 1000 grit, I spend a little bit more time with the 1000 grit. And that's a fine tuning grit. It's a good grit to fine tune all your surface areas. Really happy. So yeah, projects for this week that I'm going to be finishing up. I'm going to color those parts on the master grade heavy arms. So I'll have that assembled by Friday to show off. I'm going to get the top coat and water slides hopefully done on this guy right here. And then I have a top coat and water slides to do on a Exia Dark Matter master grade. And I'm excited about that. It's really cool. I like the Exia Dark Matter a little more than the regular Exia build. I've built both, and the Dark Matter definitely has some nice tune-up parts to it or upgrades compared to the regular Exia. So I still haven't seen the Dark Matter in the show. So is that something that's like near the end or something, or what's up with that? Anybody got any ideas on Dark Matter, what that's all about? What would be the sounding order to remove a nub or imperfection to its original shape and gloss? And how would one go on including the glass file there? Thank you. Okay. Wait, what's this? What does it say? Do you work with resin conversions? No resin conversions. All right, so
Heiko Nito.
Yeah, a friend of ours, Heiko Nito, who has since stopped being in the hobby industry. He used to do a lot of that. All right, so these parts right here, everything in this bin has been sanded and polished. And what I mean by that is
final battle of Gundam Build Divers is Dark Matter.
Okay, that makes sense of why I didn't see it in the other show. All right, so all these parts, I have polished them, sanded them, polished them. And the process I go through is pretty simple. I've already explained it pretty much tonight here. Is with this, I go 600, 800, 1000 grit, and then I use one of these two buffers, and then I use the white side on one of these two buffers, and it brings it back up to a factory finish or a polish. And then these, like I said, these you don't have to be aggressive with them either. They'll polish up real fast, real quick. Nothing. I don't know. I've had nothing but good luck and good working with them. So, where am I? 800. So I've had nothing but good luck with them. So I'm happy with them, and that's my process. Though some people just use a close nipper cut and a razor file. The glass razor file, which is totally fine.
I got a 2-stage nip, and then I go with the razor, and at the end, it's that's it. Usually just the razor, and then or the balancer.
Yeah, 2-stage nip. You always got to do 2-stage nip. I'm using a USA Gundam Star single blade nipper as my first round nip, and then I am using the God Hand as the second nip, or the flush cut, whatever you want to call it, the really nice cut nip as for the God Hand. The USA Gundam single blade nipper is a workhorse, though. You guys do not overlook it. It is a good $40 investment. I've had nothing. It's twice as thick as the God Hand blade. That's why I don't use it as my final nipper, because it's twice as thick, which means it has a tendency to leave a chance of causing more stress marks. If you understand, like how a nipper can cause stress marks sometimes when you're nipping. So even the God Hand can leave a stress mark. Also, just so you know, like I'm not saying God Hand's perfect either. They're a great tool.
That's like one of those things that are almost I don't know. It's almost
impossible. You're right. Almost impossible to not have. Exactly.
But this 2-stage is the best you're gonna get because you're. I don't know. I don't. No, I really don't.
I totally agree with you. You're right there. You're right where. Yep. Totally agree with that. The 2-stage is a good stage.
Taking it off, and then I guess maybe if you instead of a 2-stage nip, it's a 2-stage cut. You nip it off first, and then you could use a razor knife to cut it off, and then you could go straight to the balancer, I guess, or the glass file. That could work.
I use the razor when coming into like a convex part, like right here, like on this part. If there's a nub right here, I would use a razor to slowly chip away at the nub, and then I would sand it smooth. So like, here's my hobby knife. This is the hobby knife I use. It's got a special. It's that specific blade. I like this blade. This is my blade for working. So say there's, just say right there, you would just take this blade and just lay it flat against the part and slowly work slowly work it so the blade just barely trims any plastic, and eventually it'll catch the nub and it'll just get the nub off. And that's all I do is I just slowly do that. And because if you go too far with this, it gouges, With the hobby knife is a gouger.
So that's I like your blade choice. It's one of my favorite ones.
It's a good blade choice. I haven't had much issues with it. I feel like I get a little bit of control with it, and it's nice to use for when you're taping off and stuff. That smaller point or whatever gives you a nicer cut connection when you go to cut the tape and stuff when it's on a part. So you don't have to worry about, did I cut too deep, or did I hurt the plastic underneath that? You don't have to worry about that.
Right on. Lamb Than says, "What's up, bro?"
What's up? Who's that?
You're here. Happy Friday, Lamb Than.
Okay. Hey, how's it going?
Build Fighters. It wasn't Build Divers. There was a correction in the comments, so thanks guys for bringing that back up.
For the Exia Dark Matter. That's what that correction's for.
At the end of Build Fighters.
Yeah, I'm tracking.
Maybe a grub and trail mix. I'm so hungry. Just can't stop
Uh,
eating.
so I gotta figure something out with that. I can't be munching every 20 minutes on stuff. I feel like, yeah, I'm not really. It's not really every 20 minutes, but I feel like it is.
Right.
Yep. On Wednesday this past week, I put out a note on Kip Ash Gundam. I told everybody, I was like, "Hey, it's clean your workstation day. Hurry up, show us a picture. What you doing?" Everybody's like, "No, I'll pass. I'm good. I'll pass." I was like, "Ah, you guys." But yeah, I was busy cleaning my whole house the other day when I made that post. I was in a heavy cleaning mood. I cleaned up, as much as I could, got everything organized and ready for fall and holiday seasons and stuff. I don't want to be rushing to get things nice and ready around the house for those times of year.
Oh
I'm not
yeah.
100% sure if my dad is coming into town for Christmas or if I'm going up to his place for Christmas, those types of deals. I don't know all that yet.
It's still too early, Walmart.
You're
Don't put
better
out the
choosing
Christmas
that.
yet.
It's okay. It's okay. Next week, I'm gonna put the post out again. Probably next week too. It's Wednesday. It's Tuesday or whatever. I think it was Tuesday because Wednesday's usually what's in your hanger. What's in your hanger day. And our buddy over at Mecha Apocalypse. He does the he's been doing the what's in the hanger Wednesday bit for a while now. I think
Yeah,
that's
man.
awesome. I
He's
think
doing
that's
good stuff.
awesome that he brought that with him over into that side of things.
Yeah,
Uh,
man.
and miss hanging out with those guys, but they're busy. They're busy guys, and they got their own schedules, so they try to get their content out when it's convenient for them.
Yeah,
So,
for real. They got some
and
interesting career choices and work that they do. So their life revolves around that.
yep, definitely. And
Great people, man. Check out Mecca. Totally follow, like, and subscribe to his stuff. Good guy.
oh yeah, definitely. Onomech is great. I really love his work. His custom dioramas are just amazing.
I know, right?
So, all right, what time is it? All right, we gotta hurry up and do this. Let's do this one more time. Get over here. Let everybody know about what's going on.
If you didn't know, you're about to. Stay tuned.
Right? Hey, everybody, down at the bottom of the screen, you can see ClarksvilleHobbyDepot.com. Head on over there and use the discount code G_Syndicate10 and you'll get 10% off. It's any purchase, $25 or more. So if that's one RC car, that's one Gunpla. Just head on over there. You get a discount on one of your purchases items. Add a couple tools to your bin just to get, some cheap tools as well. You know,
Yep. You want
um,
you want to build, buy better tools.
yeah, so head on over to Clarksville Hobby Depot, and from RC cars to model planes and trains and boats and Gunpla alike, they have it all. ClarksvilleHobbyDepot.com. All right. So yeah, and I just got to throw that in there. They're our sponsors. They're a great guy and his wife, and like Carrie was saying earlier, they worked from at home, just like basically they followed the same model blueprint that Mecha Warehouse, did. And it worked really well for them. And so Clarksville Hobby Depot is doing great. And we partnered up with them over a year ago, and it's been a pretty good and successful partnership. So yeah, always happy to do that work with Scott and his wife. And yeah, so that's it. Um, we're just standing away talking about different things. Let's get back over here. Okay, here we go. One on sale. Nice. He was talking about, I think, that the nippers on sale. Yep. My brain was catching back up to the conversation there. Yep.
And I've been trying to keep going on so we can see what's going on. Try to pop those questions in there while you're talking.
Oh, definitely. The interactions from the team has been amazing tonight, you guys.
Man, we're on fire, guys. Keep it up. This is awesome.
And then on next Thursday, I believe my wife will be playing. We're gonna find Tiny Tina's Wonderland. I think my wife will be playing that next week on Thursday's late night load. And I will be doing some beta testing on a race car game on a mobile app
Ooh,
and
what game?
playing some Magic the Gathering. I don't remember the name of the game right now, but it's a 3D Need for Speed style game, but it's for your mobile phone. It's really cool looking. It looks really good and everything.
Hell
I like
yeah.
it.
Dude,
Um,
okay. I've been playing a mobile game called Bloody Bastards. You can find it in the App Store. It's called Bloody Bastards. It's like 64-bit style, left, right arm, and you can just use your thumbs to swing. And as you go through the different levels, you get like an axe and a shield, so you get to just swing, and you got to time your swings right to beat your opponent. But it is awesome.
okay.
But yeah, Bloody Bastards. I'm
Check
serious.
it
I'm not being paid to say that, but you all got to go check that out. Let your inner warrior loose.
out. The inner warrior. Yeah. All right. So seam removal is not going to happen there today. All right. There's two parts. Two parts. I got two parts in my bucket now. They're matching. They're the same piece. So yeah, I'm just gonna go back and look if I've got like a nub I gotta fix up, then I'll fix the nub. So yeah, there's like a little nub right there. Using some 800 to hit that. And then I'll check the other side, see if it's got one over there. It does. So we'll hit that one real quick. All right, and then down here, there's a nub right there in that part. So it's hard to see. But we're going to hit that one too, and then we're going to take the 1000 grit and hit the whole thing, and then we'll buff it. And then it'll be ready for paint. So there we go. We smooth the nubs. Uh, take this 1000 grit piece here now. We'll go across these, like this big panel section right here. You want to go across that because, see, sometimes when you go across it, it'll show you there's a high point and a low point somewhere. And it's really hard to see. Let's see if I can. Do you see that? Oh, what happened to that
I I was looking at the little corner where it says you can add stuff to,
guy?
like I could stream it to my Facebook channel or
Yeah,
YouTube,
yeah,
but I need to sign into it. And when I did, it kicked me out.
yeah. Okay, so right there, there's like a high and low point. You can see that in the reflection, the the, the gradient, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
so that's what you're gonna try and want to get rid of if you're real picky, like some of our friends over here in the chats, like McCoy. That guy's picky. He picks apart my builds all the time. I love that he does because it makes me want to be better because it's like, oh, you noticed I didn't notice that. You noticed it. Okay, now I got to go fix it. Like because it just makes me want to be better. I don't want to, I don't get mad at him for
It's
coming at
constructive.
me like that. He's not coming at me and putting me down. He's like, yo, what's this? And I'm like, yep, I got to fix that. So all right, hit those two spots. Made sure that they're good. And now we'll take this buffing tool
All right,
and we'll
Mike.
buff it.
I'm gonna jump off here.
All right, then. You have a great night, Carrie. Thanks for coming in and hanging out with us, and we will see you sometime next week. We need to get together and iron out just the rest of the schedule for the fall and figure things out. So, just get a hold of me sometime this week in the middle of the week.
Absolutely, you got it, man.
All right, thank you, and you have a great day, and thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with us tonight.
Friday night kid bash.
Yep. All right. All right, gold plated parts. So fixing gold plated parts, I don't really have a technique for gold plated parts except for um honestly be very gentle with them in the first place. And I have not purchased any kits that had a lot of gold plated parts to even deal with. So that's something as well to think about is I I didn't have a whole lot of those parts to ever work with or have to. So for me, I have different gold paints that I use for touch ups. That will work like each like some gold paints won't, some will, but different types of gold paints have different reflective qualities and everything. So different builds of mine that I've put gold into, um, they were just me painting and going through the process of painting gold onto the part. Um, and that's a really fun process too. It's almost as intensive as chroming, but it's a little more forgiving because you don't have to worry so much about a perfect surface like you do with chrome. When you chrome a part, you have to worry about perfect surface quality and stuff like that. Do you have technique? Okay. For example, kind of created I stripped the part, so just yeah. I mean, stripping the part and repainting it is the best way to get the quality of gold that you want to get. Because not everybody's gonna have like you're not gonna have the same quality of gold every time. So that's one thing. Um, but yeah. All right, so here's this part. It's fully buffed and it's ready for paint. So if I want to, after buffing, I can buff it back after. Okay, so after I've done the sanding side, I take the white side and I can just hit it a couple times like that, and then it creates glossy part. But I don't want it. I want it to be able to sand it, so I'm going to bring it back down to a dull. So it's at a dull finish. So that's what this does. This is going to bring your part to a dull finish, and it'll make it so it has a nice surface for paint to adhere to. Yeah, so we're just going to keep on keeping on. And some of the things I'll be removing is like on this part, we'll be taking out that seam line right there. Even though we probably won't see that seam line once it's assembled and the overlapping parts are there, I'll still know it's there and it'll still bother me. So we're just gonna hit it real quick with some coarse grit and we'll move on. Okay, so the Hayashiki, um, Bandai makes a special gold pen for the Hayashiki, the model kit. So I would look up getting that gold pen. It's new. It just came out last year. Like a whole bunch of people were complaining about the nub marks. So Bandai came out with a pen of that paint that you can of that plating, that gold plating. It's supposed to match up really nice, I heard. So I would look into getting that pen for that. And I'm sure you're gonna spend like $10, $12 on that pen. It's not gonna be cheap. But it is brand name and therefore it will be it'll be matching paint therefore. So um, I've heard good things about it. And then yeah, I've also heard good things about the Hayashiki build too. I've heard it's a really good fun build. I believe it looks like a fun build. I get where you're coming from being nervous about all that gold plating and nub marks and stuff. I wish a kit like that, it would have been really nice if they would have done a lot more undergating, better undergating, like a master grade or a real grades undergating is. Uh, just because it's a gold plated kit, it would have been a better idea. But they make a non gold plated version first, I think, or there's a non gold plated version. So I don't know if it's a P. I don't know if the non gold plate is a P Bandai or not. So that's one thing for me. I'm not sure about. Let's go back to 1,000 grit really quick here. So sometimes I have to go back and fix it if I catch it. But there'll be like a little flaw. You don't want to leave that. So, so we're almost to the end of the show. Got 15 minutes more, I think, before I'm going to buzz out for the night. I usually try to keep the show between an hour and a half to 2 hours. So if I start the show on the half-hour mark, I try to shut down at 10 o'clock Central Time. Really enjoyed having everybody in the show tonight. I think we hit a maximum live viewer showing tonight. That was awesome. I we haven't had a max showing like tonight, so and really interactive. I really like all the interactive that you guys. Yeah, really awesome. So let's finish these up. And then, so this kit, because I built it and taken it apart and built it so many times, I didn't really organize it into any kind of space like I usually do. But when you're organizing your kits, do you guys prefer any special kind of organization or anything? Like, so over here I've got bins. So this is each a different runner number or letter. Do you guys do anything like that? Or do you just cut them all out and pray for the best? All right. There we go. Doesn't take much. So this little buffer pad, it works really good as a scuffer. And that's pretty much it. Just going through the different pieces and stuff, and um, I haven't done any scribing on this kit. I wasn't planning on it. I was gonna wait for my next kit, like this one here. This kit, I'm going to do some scribing on it, or on the next one that I do. I have a Yajibaroshi or something like that. It's another IBO kit that falls in line with this kit, and I will be doing a bunch of scribe work and stuff on that kit when I go to start building that kit. just like I did on this one. This one I did a lot of prelim, like level 1 scribing is what I did on this kit. A whole bunch of level 1 scribe work on this kit. All right. So, oh, yeah. Also, if you guys are on TikTok, head on over to TikTok and look me up, WebC on TikTok, and give me a subscribe over there. I'm trying to get enough followers so I can do live shows on TikTok as well. Um, and my lives on TikTok will be different from my lives here. I'll still be doing Gunpla, but I won't just be doing like kit bashes and stuff. I'll be doing more of my other work. I'll be, when I'm doing my other work and stuff, I'll just sign into the live over there. But I'm waiting on getting enough followers. I don't have enough followers yet to get live access. So if you guys are watching, head on over there. Just if you're a member of TikTok. If you're not, don't worry about it. But yeah, if you are, head on over there and give me a follow real quick so I can get that number up there to that 1,000, so they let me start hanging out with you guys. Yeah. So there we go. It's all ready for paint. We'll wash each of all those parts too to get all that dust off of them that this creates. 'Cause this creates a lot of dust, and you gotta like pat it against your leg once in a while to get the extra dust off, and then it'll start working again real nice. So this piece, I don't think there's any hardcore sanding to really be done. Just needs to scuff it with the buffer so that it catches paint. That's all we gotta do with this kit. Yeah, never mind. Maybe tomorrow. This will be one of those ones. So maybe I will go through and do the seam removal on this piece right here tomorrow. I'll make a little video about it and stuff. And so you'll look forward to that, seeing a video on seam line removal. So it'll be these two pieces and these two pieces for sure. So I got 4 parts that I will do seam line removal on this kit for. So these 4 parts, I'll do a video tomorrow about them. On this, if you've seen this and you're wondering how I did this, this is just a beam effect runner, the runner or the runner tree from the beam effect. I just warmed it up a little in my hands, and then I bent it into the shape I needed it and put it into the holes. I cut the holes that are matching to the shape, and then once the holes matched up to the shape of the beam effect part, I just installed it. It's being difficult now. So I got a bunch of those little beam effect parts. I was kind of like, oh, that would be cool. So yeah, so those holes are purposely there for beam effects and stuff. And yeah, this one's got some stuff there. Yeah. And when you sand a little more with every finer grit you do than the last grit. So it's like it overlaps, creates a nicer effect. So by the time you're done or you're on your last grit, you're sanding the whole piece with the whole grit to get a nice effect. Oh, he froze. I don't know why. It's weird. All right, everyone. That is the show for tonight. You guys have a great night. We'll see you next week on Friday Night Kit Bash. And tune in for our other show on Thursday nights, The Late Night Load. And it's not about Gunpla. We talk about all sorts of things on the Late Night Load, and we play video games. So if you're interested in that, head on over there. If you want more Gunpla, we'll see you next Friday on Friday Night Kit Bash.
Friday Night Kid Bash. Friday night. Friday night Kid Bash. Friday night Kid Bash. Friday night Kid Bash. Yo, it's Friday night.